Okay, this is my day 15 wrap up. And I started the day, got up and weighed in at a little over 125, which is rocking it. It's rocking and rolling. And I attribute that to sticking with my exercise program and my diet. That combined seems to be making the difference. And I had my oatmeal, I was cooking my oatmeal pancakes. I got the applesauce, a homemade applesauce, and the syrup, the apple juice syrup. And I was heating it up, and somebody knocked on the door, so I answered. It was my friends, and one of the friends is from out of town, and these are very good friends, and we just sat and chitter-chattered and chitter-chattered, and I asked them if they wanted any pancakes, and they didn't want any, but I sat and ate my pancakes. I had enough for three, which goes to show you there's a lot of pancakes. I mean, it would have been small portions, but I had three separate little pancakes. And I could have made it stretch. But anyway, they didn't want any, so I had pancakes. And they invited me to lunch. That day, they didn't have my phone number. I had switched my phone number, and that's why they stopped by. And they were headed to the store to get some food. Another friend, old friend, was coming over, and it's pretty exciting. And they told me they were going to have shrimp scampi. I told them I'm a vegetarian. They probably knew that, but they had forgotten. And I said I would bring some kale, and then I remembered I had kombucha, and I also said I was going to bring some fritters. And the one friend just she wasn't really excited about that, but I thought, I think the fritters would be a crowd pleaser. So I grabbed about 6 or 7 fritters. I put them in the oven. Oh, first I had to go to the rec center because I had put jojoba oil on my hair the night before. In fact, when they walked in, I just had all this oil all over my hair. And my shower doesn't work very well here at the house, so I just had to go over to the rec center, quick like a bunny, wash my hair, get all the oil out, and I did, and works really well. Makes it really smooth, really helps the condition. So then I came home and I put the fritters in the oven. I took some of this nice, beautiful kale, chopped it up, put some. They had talked about how you cook it. They said you cook it with olive oil. So I put olive oil in the pan because I'm cooking for others at this point. And they requested olive oil. I would have done it in broth, but I had a little olive oil, and the kale was beautiful, trimmed off the stems, and I just cut it up and fried it up with a little garlic salt, and the fritters were in the oven. And then I remembered I had kombucha. I thought, that's great. I just brewed this kombucha. I haven't even popped the cork yet. I'll take it with me. So that's what we had. And they had this beautiful big huge dish of pasta with shrimp scampi. And the pasta they got gluten-free for me because I told them I wasn't eating wheat. And that was nice of them. And, because my policy is when I get invited to a party, I do the best I can. So it wasn't diet food, but it wasn't bad. I had pasta with shrimp scampi sauce, no shrimp, and then they had Parmesan cheese because I was at a party and I was in a fun mood. We were sitting out on the patio. It was a beautiful day. I had a little Parmesan cheese. I had some fritters. I had some kale. I had some fresh kombucha, and on the kale I put little cherry tomatoes in it. So it worked really, really well. And in retrospect, I would have brought some watermelon with me too, because I didn't even think of dessert. Very often people have a dessert already planned, but she didn't, and it would have been perfect to have nice, crisp, fresh watermelon for dessert. I would have loved to have shared that with them, because I have a lot. But anyway, so that was a really fun time. And then I went home and I meditated because I hadn't even meditated yet. It was like 2:30 in the afternoon by the time we finished. And then I did this and that. And then I had some cantaloupe for a snack. And then I went and meditated some more at the Dome, the regular time, because my schedule was totally off. And then I went to the rec center and I did some exercise. I did resistance, I did elliptical. So at least I got some exercise in, and that was good. And then when I went to the rec center, I was hungry, and very often I'll get some baked Lay's potato chips. They're $1 in the machine, Well, I put my quarters in. In fact, I put even more than $1 in. And I kept saying I had only put 90 cents in, and it wouldn't accept, it just wasn't working. I wasn't putting any more money in. I went to the desk. I said, what do I do? They said, well, we don't know. It's not our machine. So I was out that money, and I was hungry. That was the main thing. So I did my exercise, and then I went to Walmart, and there was a big line at Walmart. And I wanted to get some topsoil for my compost. So I wanted to get in the line with like the liquor and the cigarettes because I figured that's where I could like get the topsoil because I wasn't sure I could do it in the self-checkout. And the self-checkout was all backed up too. So I waited for a long time and I had gotten some walnuts because I still had basil and I just had a hankering for some pesto. So I thought, well, get some walnuts in the house. It's not strictly starch solution, but it's not that far off. A few little nuts, not too bad. So I broke open the bag of walnuts while I was standing in line and I had some of those for a snack. And that just staved the hunger. And then when I got home, I made a delicious rice, beans, corn, salsa. I didn't have a whole lot of salsa, but you know, the green pepper, the onions, you know, sauteed in a little broth, and it was so good. I just love that dish. I mean, I can really eat a lot of that dish. And then afterwards, I had cantaloupe for dessert, and then I had just had a little watermelon. And so I'm sticking with the fruit. And after I had my meal, I was thinking, you know what I really like is some kind of like a healthy chocolate chip cookie. But, you know, you have to use wheat for that pretty much. And it's all kind of cheaty stuff. And I'd have to go out and get some xylitol brown sugar and like the Swerve brown sugar and the Swerve xylitol and all this stuff. And I thought, you know, stop it. Just have some fruit. Just do the fruit. And I did. And that was good. I'm still on the fruit. And that makes me really happy. That makes me really happy because one step in that other direction leads to another step and another step. In fact, after the party, I was thinking, boy, yeah, I'd really like a cup of coffee, you know, because after a really nice meal, sometimes I start thinking about coffee. But I went home and I made a cup of black tea. Just a cup of black tea. I did use honey. I haven't gotten any xylitol yet. I have to get that tomorrow. Finally got paid so I can get that. Get a few more of my little expensive substitute items. But all in all, it was a fun day. It was unexpected, and I, got to share my kombucha. It wasn't the greatest. It didn't really fizz that much, but it was drinkable. It was pretty good. It wasn't too sour, and I just had a really fun time. I didn't stick logistically to the diet, but I didn't go that far astray. I did manage to get some exercise in. As long as I stick with the schedule, I'm going in the right direction. So, and I was happy that I was trim with this group. My friend Tracy, the one who was coming from out of town, she had just done a triathlon in Philadelphia. It was a sort of a moderate triathlon, but it was pretty arduous. And she does like the New York bike ride around all of New York City, and she's very, very fit, and she's probably about 5 years younger than I am. And my other friend is like, he's very trim. He's 74, very trim. He always watches what he eats. He doesn't exercise a lot, I don't think. But my other friend, she's a mother of two, a housewife, and she's gained weight over the years. And I was just happy that I hadn't continued to do that. I've lost, maybe 40 pounds in the past 5 months. And if I had just not taken the weight off every time I gained that much weight, I would be very, very heavy. And every time I gain the weight, I take it off. It is awful. It's so hard. But once I have gotten to, an area where I feel like I'm happy with where I'm at, I'm so grateful. I'm just so grateful because it's such a much better way to live. It's like they say, when you lose your health, you lose your first million, and that I think is very true with when you lose the good homeostasis of your body and that balance in terms of being lean and trim. So I feel like a millionaire, when I reclaim my right size. So that's it for day 15. It was a fun day, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.